Hi, my name's Demara, and I'm going to be reading to you today the Truth Testament number 37, which are channeled messages sent to us from higher beings, which began August 2022 and ended 2023, where they went over to the sacred text, which I am now channeling and will put up onto the channel as soon as I can. But this is an interesting one because I always ask which one that hasn't been loaded needs to be loaded today. And they gave me number 37. Now, when I look at this, because I had them all loaded onto a Facebook page, and when I look at this, I appear to have asked them a question right at the beginning, and then they carry on by answering this question. So I'm going to read you the question. What is the message for today, please, to help comprehend what is going on the timeline and how we can most help ourselves and others? And there must have been something going on at that time. I'm just going to have a look. This was June the 9th, 2023, when I first channeled this. But I will carry on because this is what I'm being asked to do here. So again, if you want to use the advanced awareness technique that comes after learning how to be in the now moment, where you then start pitching your consciousness onto the sound of the person's voice instead of what they're saying. And what happens is you can completely receive the information in a different way and you remember it too. It's quite an astonishing, very small technique, but it works amazingly. I first learnt this technique in, 1979 when I was attending a mystery school, which I will put whole videos up about and give you all the techniques. But right now, it's a good technique to use so that you receive it in the right way. We were wondering when you were going to ask us for full details. We do not mock you for this, but we do have to say that your so-called timeline cannot be as we see these happenings. These occurrences right now on your planet happen one by one as the energy continues to rise and disintegrate back to a more normal level. It is like a sunburst which happens when the solar flares are created. We do not know when, and we do not know how much damage they will cause, as the energy is the controller, not us or anyone else. If we were to say to anyone, sorry, I'm just going to read that again. If we were to say anyone has some control over this, it is every one of you, because you are the attractors, negators and conductors of this energy within the earth domain. So when a solar flare comes in, it is combining en route with the energy that is already on your planet. When it hits the earth, it is then combining with the energies already within that field. And this field too has its conditions secured by those who generate, conduct and use the energy of the earth domain. This may make the situations you are adjusting to clearer. You are not the victims of these energy exchanges. You are the collaborators and will always be so if you are alive on the earth domain. You are the live wires. You are the conductors, the fuse boxes and the conduits. All of these are functions of the earth energy system. Do not see yourselves as the victims. You are the perpetrators of the energy changes which are occurring, and they can produce the most amazing light show and frequency changeover if you remain centered and committed to the evolution of the human race to a more light-enhanced and liberated race. So to continue, we give you updates as to the possibilities of which areas are going to be in the line of action. These lines of action are where the clearance of old energy is being made cleaner and finer, and this will precede the ultimate upgrading of the Earth's surface areas and the ultimate upgrading of the human race. The areas most facing the next onslaught of clearance will be the islands around the southeast of Asia, and then onto the islands around the areas which cover most of the South American quarter of your domain. Most affected will be where the energies have become so blocked that they almost need a heavy blast of energy to clear them. This blasting will indeed clear the blockages, but will also clear most of the people from the areas for a while. It will not obliterate the areas, but will be such a forceful blast of energy that everyone will want to leave, at least for a while. These areas are around the east coast of New York, around most of the Chicago area and some parts of Minneapolis. Most of America at some point will be overcome with either one or so-called disaster or another. This is because of the energy blockages around most city centres and around the edges of the bays connected to the oceans. There are always particular parts of occupied areas that get blocked, and mostly these are where the energies do not have a large enough nature area where transfusions of cleaner energy take place. Around the oceans, the bay areas and inlets are where much of the darker, denser energies belong because they are neither cleansed by nature or through the larger waves and salt air frequencies. Other areas in your world that have severe blocked energies are in Switzerland, Austria, and Belgium because of being very much encased in land issues and twisted monetary gain illusions. If an area does not have many nature reserves or large areas of free-flowing water, as in lakes, rivers, and large ponds, then there is no thorough cleansing going on of the current energy sources. So these European areas will come under the canopy of being in line for a thorough cleansing. This may occur through fire, water, or air, or even from a blast from below the surface. Who knows when the energy sequences will adhere to this course of the run of the events? What you can be sure of is this course of events cannot and will not be stopped, not by man or by machinery, or by us as onlookers at the cleansing events. We are aghast that you are all now trying to work out the whys and whens. That is not the important piece of information you require. What you require is when will you provide the highest and best energy you can to put into this forecasted cleansing situation. If your energy is clean and pure, then you are an amazing catalyst and friend to the new world evolving. You can do no more than that. Provide the finest and highest energy to be in each day as you go about your tasks, and stay with that for as long as is required of you. When the fluxes and fuses of energy take place and the time is ready for the more even equilibrium again in your earth domain, then you can sit back and know that you did your best and used your most infinite resources to the best of your abilities. The other countries that will feel the changes occurring in this next semester of change will definitely be oceanic countries, those with borders to the seas across the world. The oceans will not be at peace as the more drastic changes occur, so the coastal areas will feel the brunt of this. It is not going to be safe on any of the shorelines. We cannot say how high the waves will be in any given area, but we can say that being beach-fronted is not one you should desire right now. It is not going to be the safest place for anyone. There are many places that will remain safe, and those are going to be where you will head to in droves when the main part of the cleansing plan are revealed to you. I'm getting real shivers down my spine by that. Watch the animals when they change behavior. They're going to pick up quicker than the human when the frequencies change and become hypersensitive. When the frequencies are hypersensitive, it is the time that they are going through very quick progressive changes, and therefore will be heard by animals who are still more keyed into frequency rather than sound. Animals will begin to herd together and then move as one community. Watch carefully, even the birds and insects will change direction and habitat. Be very awake and aware. We are confident that the many who have tuned into their intuitions more frequently over the last years will know when to move and when to stay. We are always here for you. You can ask us and we will tell you. When you reach up for us through the levels of frequency, we know and will be present. This is your safety harness. You have always had one, but it is separate from the ego force. It is tied securely to your spiritual presence, to your higher selves. It is always going to be safer to leave your attachments of the physical world and move only with your safety harness attached to us. Be at peace, be as one. We are with you always. That's a pretty mind-blowing message, even if I say it myself, having channeled that. I don't retain all the information so that I can peel it off through my mind. It goes in somewhere, and sometimes parts of it come out when I'm in conversation with people, but it's definitely when you're reaching up to those higher levels, you're receiving it in a different way. And it has a presence, a kind of grace about it, which is a different frequency. I do know that. I mean, it's not strange to me anymore. It's a safe place for me to go if I'm going to key in. And they taught me to do this. This is something that I've not said very often online, I don't think. I've not thought to say it really. But they gave me what they called the 9 breaths of heaven. So when I'm ready to channel, I just relax myself. I sit down at a keyboard on my laptop and I take down every word that I hear after I do the 9 breaths of heaven. And all this is 9 conscious breaths. And this whole conscious breathing thing is what connects you. It connects you to the now moment, for one thing. It connects you to the higher levels of consciousness. It's one of the most important things you can ever do, is to breathe consciously. Even if you only take one conscious breath, when you're kind of like relaxing, it's completely different. You are aware and conscious that you've taken that breath in, and you travel with it. Your consciousness travels with that breath coming in and going out. So maybe that's something you can start to try. And I will, after I really have to get the 42 truth testaments. There's pressure on me now. And there's lots of other information I also want to give, but I have a pressure on me from the higher beings to get this lot out. And I think I'm just over halfway through. So I will do a whole video when I get the time on channeling as well, and how I was taught to channel round about 1990. So please subscribe to the channel so that all this information can go out to more people and be seen. If I don't have subscribers, I don't alert and travel with the algorithm in the same way as people who have lots of subscribers. I mean, I have no idea what even that means, but I'm repeating what I know. But also, please like, because again, that affects how often my things even come in to the online scroll that people do when they're looking for something they want to watch. And mine won't become visual until I get the amount of subscribers and likes. So please do that, not for me, but for the higher beings who really want to get this information out so that we have more people awake and aware and ready for these incredible changes we're going through. And as we evolve into the new earth that we are creating. Thank you for listening. Remember the subscribe. Remember the like button. Thank you very much.